With the 7th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Jonathan Kuminga. With the 14th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Moses Moody from the University of Arkansas.
When the Golden State Warriors chose to draft Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody in this year's draft instead of trading for a more established NBA player, I thought they might be making a mistake. You have Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson all in their primes, and you're not going to trade for a more established player to help them win a championship right now? I think I'm ready to admit I was wrong though, and I don't think it's because of the reasons you might think.
As they head east now. Oh, there he goes again!
Now, I expected the Warriors to be very good. Did I expect them to be this good? No, it's not because of that. It's not because of how good the Warriors have been. And, well, it's not because of the numbers Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody have been averaging this season either, because, as you can see, there have been some bright spots. Particularly Jonathan Kuminga has had some moments where he's flashed some potential, some serious potential at the NBA level, as you can see here.
Kuminga, the spin and the finish.
But the real reason I'm ready to admit I might have been wrong, because it's still early, no one can really know yet, is because the plan the Warriors are about to put in place for these top 2 picks from last year is the same plan that they used on this guy. Yeah, Jordan Poole. Now, before I get into this, if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. There will be a lot of Warriors content on this channel because I've talked about it, put up a poll. People wanted to see more Warriors content from the main channel to this second channel, so there'll be content 2 to 3 times a week Warriors related, and a little bit of other content as well. So if you want to see more of that, if you want to see more of this content, just a like. That's all I ask. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. That's cool. Let's just quickly start by establishing that so far the Warriors have been the best team in the NBA this season. I know we all know that, but it's important to establish because when you have a record as good as they've had, and when you have a starting lineup that is absolutely dominating like they are, and not just the starting lineup, but they've also got the likes of JTA, Gary Payton II, Andre Iguodala, Nemanja Bjelica, Otto Porter Jr. They've got all of these guys coming off the bench. Not to mention, Klay Thompson is still yet to return. When you have these guys in the wing position and in the guard positions, it's not easy to get minutes as rookies. And despite this depth, the Warriors were still able to give Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody a chance at the NBA level. And while the numbers might suggest it was a failure to start the season, I think things went exactly according to plan. The thing is, I mentioned it before, but this isn't the first time the Warriors have sent first-round picks to the G League. In fact, just last year, Jordan Poole was playing in the G League. Just think about that for a second. Just last season, Jordan Poole, who is currently averaging 18 points a game in year 3, in year 2, he was in the G League. And that G League experience completely changed Jordan Poole as a player because he got a chance to play at the level and play with the confidence that he could at the G League and then translate that to the NBA. I'll talk about his numbers and the increase of his numbers in just a second, but if you look at Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, this season was never going to be a season in which they were supposed to play 20 minutes a night. When you have the likes of Iguodala, Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton II, all of these guys that I've already alluded to, these experienced veteran role players that just do their job so well and fit the system perfectly. But in the minutes they've played, I think particularly Jonathan Kuminga, we have seen the flashes. We have seen it at the NBA level, we've seen it at the Summer League level, and now we're seeing it at the G League level that these guys, they do have potential. It's just going to take some time. And why I think it's been good for the Warriors is they've got a chance to have these guys developing while you have the likes of Otto Porter Jr., Iguodala on 1-year contracts that they might not be on next year if they get paid more money or if someone like Otto Porter Jr. signs a different contract. You have a chance to have these two guys learn from some of the best players in the league while getting reps in the G League and in the NBA and showing off some potential. Just for reference, if we look at what Jordan Poole did, prior to going to the G League last season, Poole was averaging under 10 minutes a game and just over 5 points. Similar minutes total to Kuminga, and this was in his second season as well. So Jordan Poole was not really a huge part of the Warriors' rotation at the start of last season. After coming back from the G League, since then, including this season, he's pretty much tripled his averages over that period of time. The 55 games since he's been back, he's completely changed as a player. He got a chance to play with confidence. He got a chance to play make. He got a chance to be the number one guy. And while Jordan Poole is a different player in a different situation to Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, just getting that chance to be the number one guy and show off that he does have star potential, because that's what he has, that was huge. And I think that's why it's such a good opportunity for the likes of Jonathan Kuminga, because the Golden State Warriors did not draft Jonathan Kuminga to be a standard 3-and-D guy. If they wanted that, they would have gone for someone like Chris Duarte, who is 24 years of age, and we've already seen the impact he can make. Which, at first, I might have thought that would be a fantastic signing. Think about it, Chris Duarte. He would fit well, right? Yes, but think about it for a second. Is someone like Chris Duarte really going to improve the team over the current depth that the Warriors have? Probably not, really. Probably not. So if you're going to go for potential and someone that was a potential number one pick prior to going to the G League last season, and some people even thought was a surefire top 5 pick right before the draft in Jonathan Kuminga, if you're going to go for someone like him, you got to give him a chance to show off his potential and develop his potential instead of just sitting him in a corner. And the Warriors have actually done that when he's played in the NBA. He's got a chance to handle the ball at times. He's got a chance to show off his defensive potential. But in the G League, well, he gets more of a chance. We've seen it in glimpses already. He's only played a couple of games. We saw it in the Summer League. We've seen him cross players over from the 3-point line.
Kuminga's going to get this last look.
Uh-oh.
Top of the arc. Crossover.
We've seen him show off dribble moves. We've seen him show off playmaking, transition defense, transition offense. This man, if he can piece it together, has star potential, and that's why the Warriors picked him up. They didn't just pick someone up in the hopes of them becoming role players. So with Kuminga, you get to give him a chance to play at a level where he can do different things on the floor, and we can figure out what he can do, what's his potential as a passer, as a playmaker, as a defender, as a transition player. We don't know. We're going to get a chance to see it, and that's what's important about the G League, similar to what happened with Jordan Poole, and similar to what happens with a lot of players all the time. Not to mention, Jonathan Kuminga right now, he's shown some serious defensive potential at the NBA level, at Summer League, and in the G League so far. He is learning from Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green, two of the best defenders of all time. A great defensive coach in Steve Kerr and a great defensive team. If this man has a chance to be great, these guys are going to get the best out of him. Think about Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry. There's a reason Jordan Poole became the player he is right now. A lot of it comes down to the Warriors' development, obviously his own hard work, and having Steph Curry and Klay Thompson teach him how to come off screens, having the likes of Draymond Green set screens for him and create plays for him. This is what the Warriors do so well, and if Kuminga is going to get the best out of himself, it's going to come from the likes of Draymond and Iguodala really helping him along the way. And then the same could be said for Moses Moody, who still has the likes of Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, all of these shooters to look up to. Let's not forget, Moses Moody shot 38% on nearly 7 threes a game in Summer League. He's someone that, although he hasn't really shone at the NBA level yet, he's only 19. He's a guy that you can see in a couple of years. You look at what Otto Porter Jr. is doing. You look at what Jordan Poole is doing. These guys coming off screens, shooting at a high level. Moses Moody has been that. Moses Moody will be that at some point in time. Whether it's next year or the year after, he is going to be a high-level shooter for this team, if nothing else. Not to mention, he can defend. He can play multiple positions. He is going to be versatile. He is going to be a shooter. And I love what the Warriors are doing. That's why I'm ready to believe I might have made a mistake calling out the Warriors for not trading away these picks, because if they do something similar to what happened with Jordan Poole, well then, forget about bridging the gap. Forget about 10 years from now. In 2 years from now, when Iguodala is gone and Otto Porter Jr. are gone, and Steph Curry is still the best player in the league at 35, because what's going to slow him down? Knock on wood, let's hope nothing does. What's going to slow down Steph Curry? What's going to slow down any of these guys? These guys could be playing at the same level Jordan Poole is, and we're not just looking at the future, but we're looking at the present. So that's why we should watch out for what Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are doing in the G League. I expect them to start some NBA games this season as well, because the Warriors will rest some players at some point in time. They're going to win enough games where they can rest some players. There might be some injuries. They're going to get some more NBA minutes, but for right now, they're going to be ones to watch out for in the G League, similar to what happened with Jordan Poole. The Warriors could be onto some more talent. That's all I'm going to say.